What would make a seasoned Hollywood actor, one whose face once graced primetime Emmy-winning dramas, a man married to one of America's most beloved childhood icons, climb into a car and drive 2,000 miles in the dead of winter? Not for a film shoot, not for a family emergency, but to surrender himself to authorities on child sex abuse allegations so horrific, they sent shockwaves through the entire entertainment industry. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Timothy Busfield. You know the name. You know the face. The West Wing. Field of Dreams. 30-something. A resume spanning 4 decades, built on trust, integrity, and familiarity. He wasn't just another Hollywood player. He was that guy, the one you believed in. The supporting actor who quietly held the scene together. The director who shaped episodes of your favorite shows without ever asking for credit. And now, he's inmate number 472901 at the Bernalillo County Metropolitan Detention Center. His mugshot. Cold. Disheveled. His eyes empty. The face of a man who either just walked into the biggest mistake of his life, or who just got caught in a lie so massive, it would make Harvey Weinstein look tame. The allegations are as precise as they are sickening. 2 boys. Twin brothers. 11 years old. According to a warrant issued by the Albuquerque Police Department on January 9, 2026, Busfield is accused of engaging in unlawful sexual conduct with these minors. Charges that include 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor and 1 count of child abuse. The document is chilling. The details are disturbing. And the timing is anything but random. The boys allegedly met Busfield on the set of Fox, The Cleaning Lady back in 2022. Season 2. Busfield wasn't acting, he was directing. Guiding the action behind the lens. But off camera? According to the parents of the victims, the actor had been developing a disturbing connection with the young boys. A connection that, if true, turned into a nightmare. It's a story that, on the surface, sounds impossible, outrageous. But the evidence doesn't care how famous you are. The legal system doesn't care about your past awards or public image. And this time, it's not a tabloid smear or anonymous tip. There is a warrant. There are named charges. And there is a mugshot. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Because before the photo was snapped, before the orange jumpsuit, and before the headlines, there was something else. A video. A plea. A denial. I got the call Friday night. I had to get a lawyer. Saturday I got in the car, drove 2,000 miles to Albuquerque. I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible, Busfield said in a raw, shaky video obtained by TMZ. They're all lies, and I did not do anything to those little boys. And I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it with a great team, and I'm going to be exonerated. I know I am. Because this is all so wrong. And all lies. Do you believe him? That question alone has divided the internet. Half of social media leapt to his defense, citing decades of clean reputation. Others called it classic predator behavior. Project confidence, claim victimhood, and twist the narrative before the real facts hit the courtroom floor. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Busfield wasn't dragged in. He turned himself in. No dramatic arrest. No midnight police raid. Just a slow, determined drive across the country. A man walking straight into the storm, seemingly convinced he could stand in it and walk out untouched. Why? What does he know that we don't? Was this a strategy? A gamble? Or a man facing the music, trying to write the first chapter of his own defense? And if the allegations are false, as he so strongly insists, who's behind this? Who are the accusers? What really happened on the set of The Cleaning Lady? And what secrets were kept silent until now? The Albuquerque Police Department isn't treating this like hearsay. Their official statement was clear. Timothy Busfield has turned himself in at the Metro Detention Center. He will be booked on his warrant. That was it. Clean. Cold. Matter of fact. No room for interpretation. And moments later, the mugshot was public. Posted online. Downloaded. Shared. Forever etched into the digital history of scandal. Melissa Gilbert, his wife since 2013, has remained silent. Not a post. Not a statement. Not even a denial. And the silence speaks volumes. Remember, she's not just any actress. She's Laura Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie, a symbol of American wholesomeness. A pillar of family values in the entertainment world. Her silence? It's deafening. So what happens now? The case is just beginning. But the internet has already passed judgment. The headlines are multiplying. The hashtags are trending. The court of public opinion is already in session. And yet, underneath all the noise, there are still two little boys. Quiet, anonymous, protected under law, and possibly forever changed. That's the part we can't forget. This isn't just a Hollywood downfall story. This isn't just another celebrity mugshot. If even a fraction of the allegations are true, this is about trust shattered, innocence stolen, safety violated. And if they're false, it's the weaponization of accusation in the most monstrous form. So we have to ask, what exactly is in that warrant? What did Busfield allegedly do? What proof do authorities have? What inconsistencies exist in his timeline? And why did this case explode now, for years after the alleged events occurred? In the coming chapters, we'll break down everything. The warrant, the timeline, the allegations, the connections, the contradictions, and the chilling silence from those closest to him. We'll look at how this compares to other celebrity abuse cases. We'll explore how the entertainment industry protects or destroys its own. And most importantly, we'll shine a light on the hidden stories that are too often buried beneath Hollywood glamour and press management. Because if this happened, it didn't just happen in a vacuum. Someone saw something, someone knew something, and someone kept quiet. But what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming. What do you do when your phone rings at night? And on the other end, someone says your name is being tied to a crime so dark, so disturbing, it threatens to erase everything you've ever built? That's what Timothy Busfield faced. He says it started with a single phone call on a Friday night. No warning, no time to brace himself. Just a voice on the other end of the line, one that would ignite a firestorm. Tim, there's a warrant. There are serious allegations. It's about 2 children. Imagine that. One moment, you're a respected figure in Hollywood. The next, you're staring into the abyss of a legal nightmare. But let's pause for a second. Why wasn't he arrested immediately? Why wasn't his home raided, his devices seized, his face plastered on every local news station? That's the first twist in this story. Unlike many high-profile celebrity scandals, Busfield wasn't tracked down or cornered. According to him, he found out before they found him. And he didn't run. He didn't hide. He didn't send a lawyer in his place. He got in his car, alone, and drove across the country. From wherever he was, all the way to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Roughly 2,000 miles. Through cold winter highways. Through restless nights. Through his own thoughts, his own fear, his own guilt. Or maybe his own fury. I had to get a lawyer. Saturday I got in the car. Drove 2,000 miles, he said in a video message. Why say that? Why make a video? Why tell the public before anyone even saw the arrest warrant? Simple. Control the narrative before it controls you. Busfield, seasoned in media and image, likely understood one truth. When allegations hit, silence is interpreted as guilt. Speaking up, fast, loud, and emotionally, can sometimes buy you time. Or sympathy. But here's where it gets complicated. He didn't just say he was innocent. He insisted the allegations were all lies. That he didn't do anything to those little boys. That he was going to be exonerated. That kind of language, it's not soft. It's not careful. It's not legally cautious. It's direct. It's emotional. And it's risky. Because now, every word he said in that video is on record. Every denial. Every claim of innocence. Every expression. The defense will use it. The prosecution will weaponize it. The public? They've already made up their minds. But rewind a bit. Who called him that night? Who told him what was coming? Was it a lawyer? A studio exec? A friend in law enforcement? And how long had the investigation been going before he got that call? Because here's the thing. Arrest warrants aren't issued lightly in cases involving minors. They require interviews, corroboration, affidavits, multiple steps, weeks, sometimes months of investigation. So when Busfield got that call on Friday, that wasn't the beginning. That was the explosion. The match had been lit long before. Behind the scenes, the Albuquerque Police Department had been building their case. And by January 9th, they were confident enough to sign off on a warrant accusing the actor-director of criminal sexual contact and child abuse. Not rumors. Not speculation. Formal charges. Yet there he was, one day later, on a dark highway, driving across the country. Let's break that down. Why drive? Why not fly? Especially when every second could matter. Some say it was a stunt. A visual. A hero's journey, moved to show the world he wasn't hiding. Others believe it was fear, a way to delay the inevitable, stretch the last hours of freedom. And others think it was guilt. That somewhere in the back of that car, between his lawyer's number and his overnight bag, was a man who knew what he'd done and was preparing to confess. We don't know yet. But what we do know is that journey changed everything. Think about it. Each mile, another headline forming. Each rest stop, another news alert pinging. His face, his name, now colliding with unthinkable words. Children, abuse, twins, allegations. And when he finally arrived in Albuquerque, he didn't check into a hotel. He walked straight into the Metro Detention Center. That takes us to the moment. The exact second Timothy Busfield stopped being a man of influence and became an accused. The statement was short, clinical. Delivered by Gilbert Gallegos, Director of Communications for the Albuquerque Police Department. Timothy Busfield has turned himself in at the Metro Detention Center. He will be booked on his warrant. That's it. No press conference. No emotion. No further comment. Why? Because the Real story was just beginning. Back to that night, Friday. What was Melissa Gilbert doing at the time? Did she know? Was she in the room when the call came through? Did they speak? Argue? Cry? So far, silence. But one source, close to the couple, claims Gilbert was blindsided. That she had no prior knowledge of any investigation. That she was devastated and confused. Others aren't so sure. And here's where things get even more complicated. If Busfield did know the investigation was building, if there had been prior warning signs, then this wasn't just a moment of panic. It was a carefully calculated move, a PR maneuver, a legal play, and that means one terrifying thing. He may have known the walls were closing in, and he was planning the spin all along. Still, there's the other possibility, the one his defenders scream about. What if this is a setup? What if someone fabricated these claims? What if he really did just find out Friday night? Then this drive, this surrender, wasn't guilt. It was shock, desperation, a rush to clear his name before the machine chewed him up. But if that's true, there's one major question that's hard to ignore. Why didn't he wait to be arrested? Why not let the warrant play out and then respond through legal channels? Why voluntarily walk into custody if you believe you're innocent? Unless the real reason wasn't about clearing his name. It was about staying ahead of the narrative. Because the moment that mugshot dropped, the court of public opinion was no longer neutral. Images matter. And Busfield's mugshot said one thing. This is real now. It's no longer a rumor. No longer speculation. This is happening. And the boys' parents? They didn't stay silent either. According to sources tied to the affidavit, they told investigators that their sons, twin boys, aged 11, met Busfield on the set of The Cleaning Lady during season 2 filming. That's 2022. 4 years ago. And yet, the allegations only surfaced now. Why? Why the delay? What changed? One theory, trauma-delayed disclosure. Not uncommon in child abuse cases. Victims often don't speak up until years later. Another theory. New evidence. Something recent brought it all back to light. Or maybe, something darker. Was someone protecting Busfield before? Was there pressure to keep things quiet until it could no longer be ignored? And then there's this. How did 2 minors, 2 children not working on the show, end up on a production set long enough to connect with a director? Where were the adults? Where was the security? Was this a casual visit or something prearranged? The deeper you dig, the murkier it gets. And it all starts with that call. The one that shattered everything. The one that turned a career into a criminal case. The one that, depending on what side you believe, either launched a manhunt for a predator or marked the beginning of a devastating false accusation. But either way, that call was the point of no return. And when Busfield hung up, he knew his life would never be the same. So he packed his bag, grabbed the keys, and started driving. Alone. Toward the truth. Or away from it. That's the question. And the answer may lie in what came next. Because the mugshot was just the beginning. What the arrest warrant actually reveals about those boys, that set, and that alleged encounter, is far more disturbing than anyone expected. Have you ever noticed how one photograph can erase a lifetime? One image, one frozen frame, and suddenly decades of work, reputation, and goodwill collapse into a single square that the internet will never forget. For Timothy Busfield, that image arrived quietly, but hit like a bomb. The mugshot. No dramatic music. No flashing lights. No viral video at first. Just a standard intake photo released by Bernalillo County's Metropolitan Detention Center after Busfield surrendered himself to authorities. But the moment it surfaced online, everything changed. Because a mugshot doesn't argue innocence or guilt. It simply says this: the system has you now. And when people saw it, they stopped asking whether the allegations were real. They started asking how bad they must be. Let's rewind to the exact moment Busfield walked through the doors of the Metro Detention Center. No entourage, no publicist, no wife at his side. Just a 68-year-old actor, reportedly calm, reportedly cooperative, stepping into a building where fame carries no weight, where everyone wears the same uniform, where the past doesn't matter.